There is a considerable number of Californians relocating to Kansas City, but why? Well, in this video, we're going to try and get to the bottom of just that and what you should know if you're one of them. Stay tuned. And welcome back to the channel. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to know about all things KC. Today I'll be discussing the several reasons why people are moving to Kansas City from California, as well as some things that you should prepare for if you're considering making the move yourself. But first, just how many people are there moving to KC from the West Coast? According to data collected by Redfin, 3 of the top 10 cities from which individuals are moving to Kansas City are located in California. Leading the way is LA as the primary source of relocation, with San Francisco and San Diego following close behind. Interestingly, despite these California cities' prominence, it's not the top state people are relocating from to Kansas City. Where do you think the most people are moving from to KC? Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned till the end where I'll unveil the surprising leading state for this migration trend. Reasons for people moving here from California are somewhat different than other states, from employment opportunities to fulfilling their dream of owning a home which they had otherwise given up on in California. We've pretty much seen it all. And if you're considering the move yourself, be sure to download our free relocation guide to learn everything you need to know about moving to Kansas City. So let's get into it. The main driver for people relocating to Kansas City is employment. It's no secret that companies have been exiting the state of California over the past 3 years. An article recently published by the California Globe unveils that 352 companies left California, resulting in $400 billion in lost revenue for the state. This isn't a matter of businesses packing up and leaving, it's a substantial blow to the state's economy. The departure of notable giants like Tesla, Hewlett-Packard, and Oracle further underscores the gravity of the situation. The California Globe article rightly points out that these exits have a cascading effect on local communities. When corporate headquarters relocate, the communities they leave behind lose not only jobs, but also a source of economic vitality. Employees who once lived, worked, and played in these areas are now gone, reducing the demand for local goods and services. This creates a ripple effect that touches every aspect of community life, from local businesses struggling to stay afloat to a diminished sense of vibrancy in these once thriving neighborhoods. The impact on California's population is equally noteworthy. The state of California has seen a decline of more than 800,000 people over the past 3 years, according to the state's Department of Finance. Let that sink in for a moment. Nearly 1 million people have departed California over the past 3 years. What's even more remarkable is that 2021 marks the first time in over a century, dating back to 1900, that California has witnessed a decline in the population. This abrupt demographic shift raises important questions and concerns about the state's future trajectory and the factors driving this mass exodus. It's not just businesses leaving, but also residents seeking better opportunities and a more affordable cost of living. In this climate, it's no surprise that some of these former Californians are making their way to places like Kansas City. The contrast in affordability, business-friendly policies, and quality of life is very attractive to those who have grown disillusioned with California's challenges. And I, for one, think that the influx of talent into Kansas City has the potential to breathe new life into our local economy. Now, I understand that there might be concerns among Kansas City residents about the influx of people moving from California. However, it's important to note that while there is a notable migration from California, Missouri and Kansas are not necessarily at the top of the list of destinations for Californians looking to relocate. The primary draw for many Californians has been other states such as Florida, Texas, Tennessee, and Colorado, which have seen a substantial influx of newcomers over the recent years. Despite this, we have the opportunity to welcome some truly remarkable individuals who have chosen Kansas City as their new home. These newcomers bring with them a wealth of diverse experiences, skills, and perspectives, which can only serve to enrich our already vibrant community. Rather than seeing this migration as a challenge, we can view it as an exciting opportunity to further enhance the fabric of our city. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think people moving to KC from California is a good thing or a bad thing? Another reason that we've heard from people who are moving here from California is the political landscape. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this topic for obvious reasons. However, it's definitely worth mentioning. California has long been associated with progressive politics, particularly in major urban centers like LA, San Francisco, and San Diego. The state is known for its support of more left-leaning approach to social and economic policies. Kansas City, on the other hand, is situated in the heart of the Midwest, a region that often aligns with more conservative political values. You'll find more of a focus on traditional values, lower taxes, limited government intervention, and a more conservative stance on social issues. However, it's important to recognize that within any city, there's often a diversity of political beliefs. In the case of Kansas City, the city itself contains a more liberal-leaning population, which is pretty typical for urban areas. This mix of political ideologies within Kansas City can make it an intriguing and diverse place to live. It offers residents the opportunity to engage with a wide range of political beliefs and perspectives. So no matter which side of the political spectrum that you fall in, there's something in Kansas City for everybody. Which brings us to one of the biggest reasons why many people are fleeing California for places like KC, and that's a lower cost of living. The main driving force is housing. Just look at some of these statistics. In LA, for example, the price per square foot for housing is $628. In San Diego, it's $685 per square foot, and in San Francisco, it comes in at a whopping $950 per square foot. The median home price in San Francisco is $1.4 million. Let's do the math on that real quick. So we take 1.4 million divided by 950. That equates to the median size of a $1.4 million home in San Francisco being 1,473 feet. Here in Kansas City, however, where the median price per square foot is $156 and the median sales price is $287,000, that'll get you a 1,840 square foot home. But it's not just housing that's more affordable in Kansas City. Groceries, transportation, and various goods and services, including entertainment and clothing, also come with a smaller price tag compared to California. This means more disposable income and a higher quality of life for many who make the move. Okay, so let's pivot for a moment to what you should expect if you're considering the move from California to Kansas City. Arguably, one of the most challenging adjustments for people relocating from California to Kansas City is the weather. And that makes sense. The main draw to California is the mild weather, especially when it comes to winter. So here are a few things that you West Coasters should know about the weather in Kansas City before you take the plunge. Now, this is one area where California actually has us beat when it comes to cost of living: energy costs. According to bestplaces.net, California utilities are below the national average, while Kansas City's are slightly above the national average. Because of the huge temperature swings here in the Midwest, the hot summers and the cold winters, we're more dependent on our heating and cooling, which leads to higher utility costs. Another noticeable difference in the weather is the presence of distinct seasons in Kansas City. While California may offer relatively consistent weather throughout the year, Kansas City experiences a full spectrum of seasons. Spring brings vibrant blooms and a sense of renewal, while fall showcases the stunning changing colors of leaves. Summers tend to be hot and humid, and winters, well, they are very, very cold. With that being said, moving from California to Kansas City will require a wardrobe update to include winter attire such as heavy coats and plenty of layers. We also get a ton of moisture compared to the West Coast, 34 inches of rain on average. So you're going to want to be sure to invest in a good quality umbrella and raincoat. And because of that moisture, we don't have to worry so much about wildfires. I myself relocated to Kansas City from Denver, where the wildfires have been increasingly devastating during the summer months. The last year I lived there, Colorado recorded its 2 largest fires in the history of the state, which scorched over 250,000 acres. I remember not being able to see the mountains for over a month and coming out to ashes covering our cars. It was scary stuff, and I've met with many Californians who share the same sentiment. Natural disasters here in KC aren't so much fires as they are destructive thunderstorms, tornadoes, and flooding, which is why most of the homes for sale in the Midwest come equipped with basements. And that's something that our clients relocating from Cali typically aren't used to seeing. Not only do basements provide safe storm shelters, but they can drastically increase your square footage for media rooms or home offices. But let me be clear, people are not relocating from California to Kansas City because of the weather, or the bugs for that matter. I just helped a client relocate here from California, and as we were walking up to see a house, he asked, "What is that noise?" Turns out he had never heard cicadas before in his life, and I couldn't believe it. Collecting cicada shells from trees was such a huge part of my childhood, and my youngest boys are constantly on the hunt for them. Not only that, but we have an abundance of mosquitoes, flies, ticks, and other nuisances to deal with during the summer months. Bug spray becomes a regular part of your routine if you're going to be spending any time outdoors in the summer, which, if you're moving from California, chances are that you enjoy outdoor recreation. Overall, these environmental factors do play a role in the overall experience of living in the Midwest, and newcomers may find them both unique and occasionally challenging to adapt to. Another reason that we're seeing an influx of people moving to KC from California is traffic and congestion. Now, I've visited Los Angeles and San Francisco, but I've never lived there. However, I have heard the horror stories from clients that we've helped relocate that are just fed up with spending hours upon hours in their cars stuck in traffic. The closest comparison I have is, again, living in Denver from 2011 to 2020. The traffic there was atrocious and a huge frustration for me when I was either going to the mountains or simply trying to get across town. Kansas City has an extensive sprawl and highway system. You can pretty much get from one end of the metro to the other in 30 to 45 minutes without having to deal with a ton of traffic. Our metro also has a significantly smaller population of around 2.4 million people compared to nearly 13 million in Los Angeles and 8 million in San Francisco. This is naturally going to lead to less traffic and shorter commute times, as well as less pollution. Poor air quality is another reason why many Californians are fleeing the state. It turns out that their push for more alternative energy hasn't done much to improve the air. California's air quality issues are primarily attributed to a combination of factors, including its large population and heavy traffic congestion. This has led to frequent problems with smog and ozone pollution. Some of the state's major cities like LA, Fresno, and Bakersfield have consistently ranked among the worst in the United States for poor air quality, according to the American Lung Association. Poor air quality can have serious health implications. Exposure to pollutants like ozone and particulate matter can lead to respiratory problems, aggravate existing health conditions, and even contribute to long-term health issues. And while Kansas City may not have the best air quality, it tends to fare far better than many California cities in terms of air pollution. For someone making the transition from California to Kansas City, the noticeable difference in air quality can be a compelling reason to relocate. Okay, so did you guess what the #1 state is in which people are relocating to Kansas City from? That's right, it's Missouri. The top places that people are coming to KC from are right here in our backyard. St. Joseph, St. Louis, and Springfield bring more people to Kansas City than any other state. Followed by that is Kansas, Illinois, Texas, and then California. So perhaps keep that in mind the next time you go to blame Californians for increasing home and rental prices. If you're watching this and considering Kansas City as a potential landing place, then my team and I would love to assist you. So be sure to download our free relocation guide or shoot us an email anytime at info@movingtokc.net. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel as we're putting out new content every single week about all things KC. Until next time.